Channel 404. This is Sports in Prime. We begin off on a rather sad note tonight. And in fact, the news that broke early this evening, we learned of the passing of the legendary boxing trainer Nick Durandt. The 53-year-old died following a biking accident. To chat to us more and catch up on the life of the man, we joined on the line by former, Hall of Famer in boxing, former world champion, former South African champion, Brian Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell, thank you very much for joining us on SABC News Channel. Sad news coming out on the passing of the great trainer that was Nick Durandt.
Yeah, very sad news. Nick was a powerful figure. He was involved in the fight game for a long time, and he basically retired about 6 months ago from being a trainer, but he committed himself to the sport for so many years, and if it stands me correctly, he had about 38 world champions, 98 South African champions. And you're a guy that you either like or you don't like, but it didn't matter to him. He was colourful and he was in your face and he was very successful.
Speaking about the man himself, I mean, you whether you liked him or not, that was the kind of person who was on and off, in and out of the boxing ring, if you want to call it that. You meet him as a straight shooter. You knew what he was going for. You knew what he wanted in life. Yes. And he did turn out those boxing champions, as you rightfully said.
Yes, absolutely. You know, even in my time as a boxing trainer as well, I had Nick Durandt trained Cassius Valoy for a while, and I trained him for a while. And then Nick had Philip Indou, who was an up-and-coming fighter, and I put Cassius Valoy against Philip Indou. Nick was Philip's trainer in a fight called Fire and Ice at Carnival City. And Nick's got one over me even as a trainer. Philip Indou beat Cassius Valoy, and Cassius Valoy was really talented. Nick, he had the know how to beat guys. He was up there to win.
Speak about us, Brian, your moments with the man. I mean, there's plenty of moments and people sharing your best moments of the man, Nick Durandt.
Yeah, I would say Nick's best moments were that he never took no for an answer. He believed in what he was doing. You know, he was a guy that never laced on a boxing glove himself as a fighter, but he went out there. He was a controversial guy and a colourful figure, and he was a trainer and manager, extraordinary. He really made things happen. He was a winner of note.
30 years in, a life well spent. When we began the show, we spoke him saying the best way that he would go would be with boxing when he retired last year. We saw those pictures, quite emotional press conference that was, and as far as that's concerned as well.
Yeah, but I think the wonderful tributes that are coming in through now that I've noticed on Facebook and whatever is that people really respected Nick. A lot of people never liked him, but then so many people did like him and respected what he did for the sport of boxing, and he made a huge contribution to boxing. And what he really did so well is in his passing now, which we can really pay tribute to him, is his son is now a trainer. His son is a professional trainer, Damien Durandt, and he's doing fantastically well. So it's almost like Nick knew something was going to happen. He set his son up, and his son is out there now doing the business.
More trainers out there needed like Nick Durandt, Brian Mitchell. The sport of boxing, Nick helped put it on the map. It's coming back slowly in as far as South Africa's context is concerned. It's not a life, it's a life well spent, if I can put it that way. Yeah, absolutely. I think, we had a patch that we went through that where people felt like boxing was dying. But it's really, there's so much interest again in the sport of boxing. The youngsters are all taking to boxing again. And it is thanks to guys like Nick Durandt, that have kept the sport going. Nick started many years ago with my former trainer, Willie Tawil, and he just went from strength to strength. And he really, people look up to guys like Nick Durandt, and people want to be boxers because of a guy like Nick Durandt. And I think boxing right now in South Africa is on the up and up. Hopefully we see him as a boxing Hall of Famer like yourself, Brian Mitchell. Thank you very much for joining us on the line and sharing your moments on the passing of Nick Durandt. Thank you very much, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.